Well, hey there. My name is Brent Smith, and I'm the Common Constitutionalist. And welcome again to another rousing edition of the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. Hooray for me. Excuse my dress, my mode of dress. I look like a pig and smell like one too, because I've been working at my office doing a bunch of manual labor out in the warehouse. So I just got home and I decided I'm just going to do my podcast now and then I'll go. I'll do it now and then go clean up. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so anyway, today I'm going to be talking about one topic only, and it's going to be inflation. It's here. And have at it. If you haven't figured that out yet, you haven't left your house or something, okay? So that's what I'll be discussing right after this. Be right back. Alrighty, I am back. So inflation is here. The Biden administration is lying to us. The supposed independent Federal Reserve is lying to us. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is lying to us. The media is lying to us. Basically everybody but conservatives are lying about the fact that there's no inflation when there clearly is inflation. Now, some in the media are starting to wise up to say, look, we look around at the price of gas and the price of other stuff, and it's impossible for us to now say, don't believe your lying eyes, believe us type of nonsense. Yes, there is inflation. So the government got wise to this and said, Janet, stop your yelling and get on camera and just say, yes, of course, there's a little inflation, but it is temporary. And by temporary, they mean that wonderful, that wonderful $6,000 word, transitory, which means temporary. Okay, that's all it means. It's just a fancy word for temporary. Okay, so it's transitory. Now all of a sudden we went from no inflation to it's transitory. Just like back in the day, a couple of years ago or 5 years ago or whatever, there were no socialists. And then there were democratic socialists, but that's completely different. Okay, fine. Just change the words, change the name. So instead of no inflation now, yes, the inflation, but it's temporary, it's transitory. Maybe. They were able to get away with this because what they were doing is they were indexing inflation. They do an index and they weight it all together. They throw everything in a pile from the energy sector, the food sector, the agriculture, building sector, all that other stuff, and they throw it all in a pile, and some have inflated and some hasn't, and so it all evens out, and that's the way they can claim that, oh look, see, the index is only at 1.5 or 1.75% inflation. That's ridiculous, it's under 2%. No, it's not. Yeah, there are some things, as I'll show you, there's a few that aren't inflated, but for the most part, there's some serious inflation. And so they had to come to that realization that when you go to the gas pump and you're, pumping gas, or you go to the grocery store and you're paying 20-30% more than you were just a month or two ago, yeah, there's some inflation. So we need to figure out a way to break it to people. Yes, we agree there's inflation, but it's just temporary. Of course, they don't have to define how temporary it is. It's like climate change. You just keep putting it off and saying, this climate change is coming, global warming is coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. Oh, sure, okay. But this is coming. We have inflation. And I don't know whether it's transitory or not, because I'm not an economic expert. Kind of like Jerome Powell at the Fed, who keeps saying that there's no inflation. Oh, that's right, he's not an economic expert either. He's a freaking lawyer. Probably one of them slip and fall class action lawyers. Ambulance chasing lawyers. But he certainly is an economist. He's a freaking lawyer. A lawyer running the Federal Reserve. Brilliant. All right, well, of course, then again, couldn't be any worse than Janet Yellen, whatever. Okay, so here are some facts and figures. So Don't believe me, believe these facts and figures, which I got from Market Watch and Financial Times and some other financial websites, to tell you just exactly how much inflation there is going on out there, in case you were wondering. Everybody's been hearing about lumber. If you bought a 2x4, if you bought a piece of plywood lately, you'll know, holy crap, there's some inflation going on there. Oh my goodness. When a few months ago, you go to buy a 2x4 and it was $2.50 for an 8-foot 2x4. Now it's like $8. That's inflation, folks. Holy crap, that's inflation. You ready? Lumber. From May of last year to May of this year, and this is I got this data May 7th, okay, which was just this Friday. 414% increase in lumber prices. Okay, 414% increase in lumber prices. Here's one that hasn't gone up much. Orange juice has only gone up 0.87. And these are the types of things they factor in to drive down the inflation index. Okay, that's what they do. The famous thing. Corn has gone up 142%. Soybeans, 94%. Hogs, which is pork prices, 92% increase. Sugar, 30%. Coffee, 23%. Wheat, 53% increase. Breads, grains, all that stuff, all gone up. Copper, which they use in a lot of construction and everything, 104% increase from May the 14th of last year to May the 7th of this year. Holy crap. Iron ore. Gee, I wonder what they use iron ore for. Pretty much everything that's metal. Okay, that's gone up 101%. You can see building a house, constructing anything at this point is a pretty bloody expensive process relative to, hell, not even a year ago, all right? Natural gas has gone up 82% since June of last year. Heating oil has gone up 118% since May of last year. Gasoline, 120% in a year. Crude oil, 119%. Ethanol, we all love ethanol, has gone up a paltry 106%. This is ridiculous. I love me some chicken wings. I noticed the chicken wings are more expensive. They've gone up over 20-something% at this point. Chicken as a whole, poultry, has gone up 20-something%. You want to know why? In part, it's because they can't find any labor. They can't find anybody to work for them. The reason is that lazy-ass freaking Americans are getting paid for staying home by the government. Isn't that great? You know, that's that minimum income that Andrew Yang pushed during the campaign of the Democratic campaign. Absolutely absurd. The universal minimum income. This is what you get. People just lying about, staying at home, because they make more staying at home than they do at the chicken processing plant. When you can make $15 and $20 an hour by sitting on your dead butt watching soap operas all day and eating Doritos without going out, they can't, these chicken processing plants, these fast food places and whatnot, they can't pay $15 and $20 an hour. These independent businesses, small independent businesses, not the Walmarts and the they can't pay 15 to 20 bucks an hour. That's absurd. And so the government comes out and says, oh, we don't have enough workers. We need to import workers. We need to up the visa amounts. We need to let more people into the country. Bullcrap. You need to stop paying people for doing nothing. You need to stop paying people for doing jack diddly and stop the unemployment benefits and whatnot and say, look, we're cutting you off in a month. You better get your butt out there and get a job. You drive around any place in this country and you'll see help wanted signs literally everywhere, particularly in small business, because they can't find people because no one wants to work for what they used to work for just 6 months ago. It's absurd. It's obscene is what it is. So we have inflation. It's going to turn into hyperinflation if we're not careful. And one of the reasons is just because basically there's too many dollars chasing too few goods because we got nobody making them, and that's just the way it is. So hooray, welcome to the new America. I'm loving life. This is Brent Smith. I'm the Common Constitutionalist. That's about all I got on this topic. I think that's probably enough. You get that we have inflation. You get that it's probably, I don't know what transitory means, but if it means a couple, 3 years, maybe it is transitory. I don't know, okay? And neither does anyone else, so don't listen to these freaking experts that know. They say it's the same with the climate change people. They don't know jack diddly either, okay? So anyway, that's all I've got. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I will see you when I see you, either midweek next week or next weekend. Take care.